Okie dokie, welcome to stream. I'll be working on my casino today. I made some good progress last Wednesday, but had some issues, so hopefully no issues today. It's just gonna be a chill stream. You can do whatever you want, listen to me in the background. It's just a relaxed day. Welcome. Welcome to this fun stream. Oh, thank you for the Uncharted vibes. That's very cool. And welcome, Nomad. Um, yes, so there's a bit of background with my sketch. So I've called the casino El Mare Doro, because it's the Golden Sea. So I've got a wave of coins up the top there in the left, um, and the base of the floating seaport is filled with Doro fish, which is a golden fish. That's why it's called the Golden Sea. Um, so it's a casino slash hotel that, seaplane pilots come in, fly in, and, have a bit of a rest time, have a bit of a, fun time at the casino. And welcome, Twin. I look forward to your stream later. I am just working on my scene, so you haven't missed much. Thanks, Nomad. I appreciate that. Still got a long way to go, but it's getting there. Still getting the hang of streaming, so everything's a bit of a here and there every now and again. That is extremely true. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, while you're here, there we go. I need 2 chaotic mods. That's why you and Luna are here. How has your day been so far, Nomad? Because I know it's close to night time. Taran, I'd imagine. So you gonna do an art stream later, or are you playing a new Resident Evil? And I am going good. I am having a day off work, and I'm just chilling, doing my art, slowly making my grind towards affiliate if I get there. And we'll go from there. Because I'm enjoying the streaming type work. It's good breaking out of my shell, you know, getting more comfortable talking with nobody. Thank you. Ooh, Final Fantasy. Well, that'll make Charmy happy. Ah, I see. And Torch as well. Looks better. I do have other models. Um, so on my portfolio page, I have my Bloodborne model that I did ages ago. Um, that's just the game's an inspiration to me. That's why my follow alert is "Oh, I love Bloodborne," because I do. I love Bloodborne. Um, but all of my models are currently just on my computer, nowhere else. Mainly because they're in the process of being UV mapped, which I love doing. Because there's nothing funner than trying to map an object which causes you pain and grief and heartache. So, one of my current side projects is the Gardens of Babylon, which is one of the ancient wonders of the world. And Charmy's here.
Wow, I love Bloodborne.
That's awesome, Charmy. I love Bloodborne too. How are you today, Charmy? Are you good? Are you rested? Are you looking after yourself? Were you a bit surprised with my follow alert? I'm glad you love Bloodborne. The struggle of life, wanting to rest but also work. That's always fun. I am good. I'm getting out of my comfort zone with streaming. I'm inside, nice and warm, instead of being outside in the cold. I'm happy. I'm doing good. Well, I can't say that's not a good thing, Nomad. Both you and Luna do always need sleep. Thanks, Charmy. A friend of mine, gosh, I love technology. A friend of mine suggested that I start streaming. He said that he felt that people would like to see me do my environment art and for people to kind of get inspiration by watching me. And I've been enjoying that. I'll still be gaming on Saturdays and stuff like that so people can enjoy the game type of stuff that I do because I don't play games normally. I like to explore and have a bit of fun that way. But yeah, I enjoy my art side. I'm not as creative and sketchy as everybody else. As you can see up the top there, that's the kind of work that I do where I just sketch out the base environment, add a couple of notes, add background. Exploring stream when? Um, well, we could go to my chatting room if you want. That's where you get to see my feet. You get to see Tom Selleck, and you get to see the whole classroom. Um, yeah, so there's always steps that goes into the process of level design, so I can't just immediately start modeling stuff and get into the zone that way. I need to sketch it out, and it needs to have some background work. So I feel that flow really well with environments when I know the background story to it. So with this scene in the casino, the whole focus around it is gold money because it's a casino. So the casino is called Il Mar d'Oro, which means the Golden Sea, and around the base of the floating island is the Dorado fish, which are the golden fish. So that's how the Golden Sea comes into play with the gold from the casino. So it's got that tie-in, and then because it's on the sea, you need seaplanes because not everybody can just walk there, and the small pieces that add to it. So that's what I enjoy. So we'll leave the classroom and we'll go back to the casino, and yeah, that's my process, and I love it, and it's just fun to be creative in that way where you can just design a world from nothing. Thank you. I've always enjoyed modeling because it's just that thing where you can do whatever you want. That, when I was at school and we had the project of, designing a project, people were making, toasters or skateboards. And it's just like, well, I want to make a city. So I ended up modeling an Italian city. And it was fantastic because I had that free reign. I could do whatever I want. I could design it however I want. And I had so much fun. Um, and that's why my true career path that I'd love would be a environment artist or a level designer. Both doing uh, environments within the world. One's just placing and storytelling, the other's modeling like I am now. Yes, I know how much you love backgrounds, Charmy. But that's our difference. You love characters and hate backgrounds. I love backgrounds and hate characters. Because I'm never jealous of a character artist because you're trying to make something look perfect and realistic without it looking perfect and realistic. Because everybody's got imperfections and it's hard to portray that. Well, Charmy, as soon as you start environment design, I'm right there with you. I'm happy to go through stuff. I'm happy to show you art books because I have a lot of art books. I love talking about environment design, so I'm happy to talk to you about it. There we go, get the hype in there. You are more than welcome to join the hype train for Environment Design Nomad. Because Charmy does need some chaotic people to help with that aspect. I'm the same nomad. I'm always amazed because it's storytelling. The example that I use for a ton of my friends that ask is the car scenario. So a car on the side of the road is just a car on the side of the road. But you put some smoke in the front and the car's broken down. You put a bed and some pillows and some luggage in the back. Well, somebody's living out of that car. You put the gas tank open, somebody's gone out looking for petrol. You're taking one object, one scene, and you're making a scene and scenario about it where it could have just been, at the end of the day, just a car, but just adding bits and pieces brings so much storytelling, and that's what I love, because it's just fun being able to tell a story in a scene, and for people to connect and enjoy with sad and resonate with sad as well. Because storytelling, it connects with anybody, and for you to build a world that you can tell a story and people can walk around in and enjoy and really experience themselves. And that's what I love, because when you're in a game and you're exploring, you got the free reign to explore the house. You've got the free reign to explore the city. The only limitation is whether or not you explore it or not. I am the exact same nomad. It's just, for me, oh yeah, I never finish games either. Um, seeing the amount of work. Oh, here we go. Mod number 2. We've got the Chaos Crew here. Welcome, Luna. How are you? We're just talking about environment design within games. Feel free to join the chat. I want to know your experiences with it. Oh, poop. I hate this. Yes. I will always steal one of my favorite siblings. And of course, I love when Maya plays up. So, while I fix that, let's go back to the classroom and chat. Let's have some fun while I save and exit and then start it back up. How are you, Miss Luna, today? Are you fed? Are you rested? Are you causing chaos? Yeah, go for it, Charmy. This is just a relax stream. If you want to work with my voice, which is an interesting voice in the background, I'd love that. If you want to critique my work while I do it, I love that too. I want this to just be a relax session. that you don't have to worry about anything. It's just fun. There we go. Is this working now? Because you're so popular, Luna. You're everybody's favorite mod. There we go. Gosh, I love Maya some days. Thank you, Nomad. My voice is somewhat deep, but I enjoy it. I don't like listening to it, but I enjoy it. Yes, Luna, stay hydrated. I have my drink here. Gotta stay hydrated. Well, that's good to hear, because we twins need to get along, so it's good that you like my deep voice. There we go. So, I'll explain what I'm doing, because currently it just looks like I'm making a capsule. I'm currently making the velvet rope that goes between these pillar blocks. As you can see, very tinily, but I will just stretch out the drawing for the moment so it covers stream. So sorry about that. So you've got the parts where you land the plane. You make your way up to the steps, and you've got that red carpet walkway towards the front doors. So that's currently what I'm working on now, just the red carpet and the pillars there. So I'll be doing the dice and the sign and the slot machine banner, and we'll go from there, see how much I get done before 12 o'clock when we raid the one and only Nomad. So let's shrink this back down. Make it a little bit bigger. So Nomad will be my lucky first raid person. So I'm gonna have so much fun trying to figure out how to raid, and you can all join me on that struggle. Well, I'm pleased. I always like supporting friends. As much as I am chaotic in chats, I do like supporting people. That is one of the things that I love to do. I will always help somebody in need, because it's good to help people. It's good to make somebody stay. And even if it's a small thing and you've made somebody stay, that's all that matters. was one of the sayings that my grandparents told me growing up was smile and the world smiles with you, cry and you cry alone. And that is depressing in some points, but it's good because, it's good to be happy with other people and, have that joy and share it around. Oh yeah, we're super chill. We like causing other people grief with our chaos. We don't want to cause grief ourselves.
Wow, I love Bloodborne.
Wow, Rosie, I love Bloodborne. That's so great that you do too. Thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy this very relaxing and chilled stream. How is your day going? Are you good? Are you fed? Are you rested? I care about the well-being of all my watchers. So what I'm currently trying to do is bend the rope so it looks realistic. But the more realism comes when you add more edge loops. Just because it's more of flowy, just the way that it curves. Oh, that's good to hear, Rosie. I'm doing good. This is my third stream now, um, and I'm enjoying it. I've got great people watching me, and it's just a chill session. This isn't we're going to be very strict with how we do it. It's just relax. This is if you've had a tough day or if you just want to listen to some cool music in the background while you do your own personal stuff. That's cool. That's what we want here. We just want you to enjoy yourself and just enjoy your day. Forget about all your problems or anything that's troubling you and just relax. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Because it's so important to care about yourself. Because, in life we can get caught up running after other people and, doing so many things when we forget to look after ourselves, we forget to eat, we get to sleep, we neglect ourselves, and we need to care about ourselves a lot of the time. It's not being selfish, it's just looking after yourself. So if, looking after yourself is just listening to me ramble on about environment design, well, that's what it is. But I'm glad your day's going good. And my day's going great because I get to share it with all of you guys. Because it's so important to share positivity. I do it in my own workplace, and I'll do it on stream because it's just good to be a happy person. It's good to share a smile, make somebody's day. It's just good to, make somebody smile. Even if it's one person a day, you've made somebody's day. We do love positivity, and we do enjoy chaos. They're the two things that work perfectly together. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying my stream. I didn't think people would enjoy me, doing this sort of stuff, but it's good to see that people are actually enjoying it, and even if you're not watching and you're just listening, that's all that matters. No. So what's everybody working on? Charmy said she's working on some stuff in the background. Is anybody else working on art or playing Tetris or doing some yoga? What's everybody doing? How's everybody going? Yeah, that's exactly right. You gotta you gotta share your passions with people because it one shows people that you do care about this sort of stuff, and it also you know gives you an excuse to share about yourself. Sometimes you just don't want to talk about yourself, but when you're open up and you can actually express yourself with something that interests you, I could ramble on for 2 3 hours about this sort of stuff because I just love it. That's good that you're doing physio. It's good to look after yourself if you've injured yourself because your well-being and health with your own body is very important. You need to look after yourself. There we go. That's a lot more smoother. That's good that you finished eating now, man. It means you're looking after yourself. That's cool. So do you do music stuff, Rosie, or is this just I'm being a helpful person? Oh, that's good. You're helping a friend out, and that's what matters. Because I'm sure that he's going to appreciate all that you do for him or her, for somebody, for a friend. I'll do that. Now, doors are something special because, yeah, go ahead, Rosie. Take your time. Doors are something special because they're ways to get into buildings. Um, they all need to be different in their own way to stand out. You can't just have a rectangle because even a rectangle has some divots and intricacies with it. So I am currently making curved um, doors. So they're going to be straight down, which you'll see now. Um, but they have that curve up the top just to add that little bit extra to them. So I'll be adding a edge loop in the middle here, and then I will be splitting them and opening them up. So it makes it look more realistic rather than just a door on a wall. Um, yes. The simple answer is yes. I will be working on the inside of the building. Um, but as many games you've probably played, you get a loading screen when you go into the building. So I won't be cutting out the inside of this um, and modeling everything inside. I will be pulling this building off to the side, and then I will be building an inside area. So I'll have two separate models, one outside and then one inside, and then that will use as a loading sort of trigger. That way, when you're walking around a world, it's not trying to load everything that's inside each building, just because it'd go mental on consoles or PCs or stuff like that. It's just easier to load into a trigger, spawn you off somewhere else, but you're in that building. So the whole rule about, let's just pull that off to the side quickly. Game design is about leading the player without leading them. So our job when designing environments and stuff like that is to guide the player without them knowing. So when you see games that have, crowds that are blocking ways, or, oh, somebody's put boxes here and we can't go through, that is one way to stop the player from going a certain way. You're leading the player to go your way without them realizing it. Then later down the track you can remove those obstacles, like get rid of the crowd or move the boxes, and then you give the player the chance to explore on their own because you've already told them what they need to do. It's a lot like that. But gambling is about moderation. Yes, somebody did say gambling, Nomad, and that will be after your stream. Perfect. So the thing that I like to do that just makes doors look a little bit more realistic is I'll take the pivot point, so from the center, and put it to the side, because then when you rotate it, it then acts like the door hinge, and you can just leave the door ajar, and you can see a little snippet inside without revealing everything. Gosh, I love technology. Yes, I will need to look at getting maybe a new setup. I was looking at getting the Blue Yeti mic. I was working with what I could do. I already had a computer that could do all of this stuff. I just didn't have the audio aspect. And then I don't really care about a green screen. You can see what DVDs and stuff I've got behind me. I got skateboards from artists, and you can see the sun coming in to show that I actually get sunlight and I'm not a little hobbit inside. No, that's not a jab at you, Nomad. No, if you want to be a hobbit inside, you can be a hobbit inside. Honestly, if there was a boss fight behind the fog wall behind me, I would not be streaming. I would be having fun doing that. I would stream the process of me fighting the boss because that's fun. No, no. I'm going to leave one door slightly closed, so it makes it look like everybody's going through that one door. I love the Souls games because it's just perfect. You get to explore an amazing environment. The gothic environments in Bloodborne are my favorite. That's why it's one of my top tier games. Um, and then after you explore a beautiful world, you get to fight a boss. Isn't that fun? Doesn't that sound fun? And they're all so creative and, beautifully designed. You know, the DLC boss for Bloodborne, you've got Lady Maria, a fantastic boss that uses her own blood in her fight. Um, and then the final boss, Orphan of Kos, has like a puke projectile and, flies in the air and uses lightning, and it's just you're not going through the same bosses going, okay, this is the same as last time, this is this and this. You just experience a new fight that's so cool and well designed. And I will always try to get people to play the Souls games because it's just something that everybody should experience and, try for themselves. Yeah. Now it may look like I'm stretching or I'm having a stroke. That is just me making sure that everything lines up perfectly. So I'm making sure that there is enough space. This is the um, slot machine part that I'm working on. I'm wanting to make sure there's enough gap between the door and the sign because I want to put some stuff in there as well. And then I want to make sure there's enough room between the sign and the top of the building because I need the actual name of the casino in the middle there. Because you're just wanting that non-clustered look. You don't want everything smushed together because then when you're off in the distance, it just looks like nothing. You're wanting everything to be clear and precise so that everybody looking at it can take a little bit of pieces and can easily see what everything is. Point 0.5 should be enough. So am I. And that's the thing. That's what I enjoy about building environments because you have this goal in mind. So, yes, this wave of seas is going to be daunting, but it's that reward at the end where it's just like, wow, I made that. Wow, I did that. Um, and that's why you need to take pride in your work. When I show people my work, it's just like, yeah, I loved working on this. Yeah, I loved doing this because, you get to share it. You get to, show how talented you are. It's not a boast thing, but it's just, showing people what you can do. Yeah, nice. it's not going to be so much fluid effects on coins. It's going to be I'll make a planar map, um, which is to put it in perspective, you take a cube, you delete every side but one, and that's a planar map. And what I'll be doing is I'll be adding edge loops and I'll be curving it into the wave form, and then I will start modeling the coin. I just need one, and then it's just about duplicating, filling the bottom, and then just moving up in a wave form and building off that. And I will be using wave references because you're wanting to use the splash effect, but that's going to be later down the track when I actually get to it, because I may need to bring back this sign, because you've also got to look at it as a realistic point where, you know, if I have it overhanging out here, it'll need support, and I don't want the supports to take it away. I could make it electronic sign and have it all animated. That is a point. I will write that down. And that's why I enjoy taking notes. Thank you, Nomad, for that idea. Yeah. Gosh, I have so many smart people in chat. And that's why I always appreciate feedback and criticism, because it's how we grow. That's how we learn as artists, because I wasn't going to think of that. I already had my notes down. But coming to a place where you can, you know, talk about it and have other people view your work, you get a fresh set of eyes and you get a new idea. And I love that. I like that. I hydrated. Feel free to hydrate yourself. Don't overdo it. I don't want you drowning yourself. It's just about looking after yourself. And while I'm talking, I'll give a bit of background, because I like to keep myself hidden with details. I am an Australian, an Aussie. I live in Tasmania, the little heart-shaped island underneath Australia. There we go. I did 2 years learning 3D design. So I did, you know, computer graphics stuff at school, but then I went on and did more study within it. So I learnt about VFX, animation, character design, but my real passion was environment design, so I did my 2nd year in that. Currently, unhappily, but currently I work at KFC. That is not the dream. My dream is to work for a video game company that I can, you know, build environments that, you know, players can actually enjoy and experience. but I'm just currently trying to get my name out there, get some more experience, build my portfolio up. Um, what else can I tell you? I'm 23. I use the pronouns he and him. Um, and yeah, if you'd like to ask me any questions, I will try to answer them. And if you want your questions answered in the classroom, let me know and we can head over to the classroom and chat. That's true, Nomad. Doesn't matter where we are or how we start off, we're gonna grow. A pizza shop. Well, that's fun. And it's good to see that you've grown from there. I like that. You've always got to look after yourself, Nomad, because that's the main thing. It's so good to support people and encourage people, but you've got to look after yourself too. Yes, there is a little bit of an age gap there. Could bevel that edge. I'll see how that looks. Just to give some background stuff as well, when you see everything get covered like this is a shortcut that I've got coded into Maya for my own personal benefit. It allows me to copy everything, so grab everything at once, delete all the work that I've done, so I'm, continually starting fresh and that there's no issues. And then once it deletes all of the, stuff that I've finished and don't need anymore, it will then save for me. So in that one go, I'm selecting everything, deleting all the stuff that I've got that I don't need anymore, and then it saves for me, which is very handy. But that's the thing, whatever you work on, whatever program you use, you're just making it however it works best for you. Took me a long time to get it perfectly how I wanted it to, but now that I've got it how I want it, I'm happy. I'm a happy boy. So that's going to have 777 on it for the slot machine. And now that we've got that done, we can work on the pillars with the dice. So before we do that, I'll come back over and I'll bring this guy out. So this will just give a refresher on everything that's going on. So we've done the stairs, we've done the lights, we've done the walkway area, we've done the door, we've done the 777 slot machine, and now we're going to be working on the pillars with the dice. And then after that we'll work on the curtains, and by that point it may be 12 o'clock. If not, we'll go from there. We'll figure it out as we go. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. But I'm glad to see that everybody's enjoying watching me work. I have to say, Luna, it's so great to see you with Nomad's emotes. Because you're supporting your sibling, and that's what matters. How big do I want to bring him to there, and then the dice can correlate with that. Okay. Okay, so another trick that I do when wrong way. Another trick that I do when working on stuff is instead of modeling the exact same thing that I just did opposite, I just delete and then copy over, and then that allows for me to repeat what I did perfectly without doing all the work again. It's just finding little shortcuts wherever you go within your work, just to make life a little bit easier. There we go, nice and simple. That's all we wanted. So before duplicating it across to the other side, I want to finish working on the dice that goes on top, and then I can just copy everything over at once. So put a little bit of a bevel on it, just so it's not all rigid and clunky. It just adds a little bit of an edge line to it, and in that way it just looks a little bit smoother, a little bit nicer. And then I use this wireframe edging on it, so that's just it all grayed out plain, and then I put the edge line just so. Welcome back, Rosie. Hopefully you're doing good still. Just so while there's no colors or textures on everything still kind of stands out, and I can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking for. And then once we start adding textures and colors, I can take away the wireframe so it looks realistic. That's all good. It's always good to just do some stuff. Like I said at the start, I'm just here to talk. I'm pleased that you're here to listen. And you gotta do what you gotta do in the background, that's fine. I'm more than happy with that. As long as you're doing good, that's all that matters. If you gotta head off soon to start your stream, Nomad, feel free to head off. We'll be wrapping up in about half an hour or so, and then we'll be heading over there. I don't want you feeling pressured that you gotta stay till the end of my stream. I appreciate that. I know. You have a lot of self-control with doing short streams, don't you? So with design as well, you need to make sure that it's realistic. So I'm just not making a floating cube. I'm adding just a small pillar just to give the look of it being held there. I don't want to do this. Do I want to do it on a corner? That looks good. But that doesn't look good. Okie dokie. It's coming along well. Still fix that up. So I always try to... Sorry, I got a bit of cough today. Let's hydrate. I like to work in close. That way I get all the details that I can. But then it's so important to pull yourself away and see the image or the scene from a distance away. Because yes, it may look fantastic close up here, but if I was to pull away and then it just doesn't work, it gives me that aspect to go back and go back in. Yes, spinning dice, yes, it is. So I wanted a lot of casinos have out the front aspects of what they've got inside. So many casinos in Las Vegas have the big slot machines outside, that people can, take pictures with, this and that. I wanted it to kind of be a visual aspect without telling you casino, because I don't have casino written anywhere on the building. So for you to have the slot machine here with the set, oh, it's a bit off. There we go. The slot machine there, and then the dice as well, just to kind of showcase that this is what's inside the building. So I wanted dice part of the outside thing, so I could have had seating that looked like dice, or I could have had this like lighting that looked like dice. But I thought if I had two spinning dice at the front, um, plus they have the spiral pattern, just like the hairdressers or barbers have. You know, the pole, whatever it's called. Um, so I just thought, you know, that's a pillar. It's a standing out object, and it just draws people in, because you just in environment stuff, you have environmental weenies, which are buildings that stand off in the distance, that stand out, that are guiding the player, that wherever you are in the world you can see it. But you also need visual standouts within your scene. So currently the standouts that I can see are the pillar, that's the biggest one because of its size, the sign, and then the water fountain. There's other stuff like the stairs and the ropes and stuff like that, but those are the main things that are going to draw people's attention. Because as people look over the scene, they're going to be drawn to these different points, and they need to stand out. They can't just be, you know, this is the dice on a pillar. It's a spinning dice, you know. It's you can see that, you know, this is the size of this and that. Yeah. You did make an environmental weenie. I don't like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it a different way. So before my sad day stream, I will actually look at getting a new setup for my headset, because I hate, actually, yes, I will look at that, because I'm not a fan of this cutting out. Yes, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, there is repetition in the world. That's just the easiest way for people to quickly build environments, by repeating the same thing over and over. But we cheat, because if you change it up a little bit, it doesn't look exactly the same as the other versions. So the best example of that, we'll use the Division as an example. The Division has witches' cones, or the witches' hats, the yellow little cones that go on the road. Now, you can have couples standing up, you can have some knocked over, you can have some in a bin somewhere, you can have some in the grass, on its side, however you want it. Same cone. It's the same object, but it looks different because it's been changed up in a certain way. They haven't changed it visually at all, they've just changed how it is in the environment. So for me, it's the exact same dice, but I'm just trying to actually I might change that as well. You're just making it that when people look at the scene, they don't go, oh well, it's the exact same thing. It just, they've taken that and they've put it here. I'll come back to them. I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of their position. Actually, no, I'll fix it now because it's going to bug me. And that's why you see so many. That's a good example too. In Call of the Wild, the Hunter Call of the Wild, the rocks are repeated several times, and there is no change up at all. They look exactly the same. Um, and it could be time crunch. You never know. I like that better now. It could be twisted a little back. It could be time crunch, limitations within the studio. Something could have gone wrong. But it's just sad to see sometimes in environments when you can clearly tell that's been repeated. Like, people aren't going out of their way to look for it, except for me, but it still stands out as something that a little bit of care could go into it. Okay, Nomad, have fun starting your stream playing Final Fantasy, and we will see you in half an hour. Please don't ask for art tags. I do not know how to share that. Not yet. I like that. Thank you. Later when I figure out how Twitch works and how it doesn't cause me grief, I will send art tags. Yes, everybody say goodbye to Nomad. We will say hello to him shortly, but for the moment, send him off with your kind words. Okie dokie, let's work on some curtains now. Because curtains are one of those things that can bring joy and pain. It's all good, Rosie. So this object that I am using now is the planar map that I was talking about. So I'll zoom in so you can see. So it's just a one-sided face with a lot of edge loops in it to make multiple faces. So this is most commonly used for cloth. So when you see a cloth on a table, or curtains, which we're going to be using it for, or anything that's fabric type, it was made by a planar map. Just because cloth isn't 3D. It doesn't have, different edges, this and that. It's just a flat surface that's just curved, shaped to make the desired image. So that's too big. I will add that if anybody has feedback about the stream, I would love to hear it. I added my webcam to this session just because I feel that without the webcam, there's just a little bit of not personality there. You don't see me reacting with chat, you just hear a voice, and it's somewhat rigid and not fun. So I thought, I put my webcam up, it's a little bit distracting, but if you're just listening to my voice or if you're just watching the work, that's all that matters. But yes, I do want to improve as an artist and as a Twitch streamer. So if you have any pointers or tips or this or that, I'd love to hear it. Backscening is not only allowed in games but in art as well. my little moe. I'm slowly trying to grow a beard, but at the moment I've got the Johnny Depp look, so I'll take that for the moment. As long as I don't look like a creep with the mustache, I am completely happy with that. Thank you, Rosie. I'm so glad that people appreciate my facial hair. So currently I'm just adding the outline to the curtain just to see what I'm working with. So as soon as I get the outline, which I'm about to do, then I'll start adding some ripples and making it more realistic. So I'm happy with that. Thank you. It's a bit of a slow process because there's a lot that goes into it, so you're never gonna get, the final image straight away. But it's a fun process, and that's why I enjoy doing it because, you, when I started this scene, it was this. There was nothing here, no buildings, nothing. It was just empty. And slowly, if I can get back to it, slowly, bits and bits, it starts shaping more and starts, coming to life. And that's why I enjoy it, because you view that with anything. Any buildings in real life or games or stuff like that. It started as nothing. And that's why, I feel so much inspiration towards, design, because you can create whatever you want. Whether it's cars, art, um, video tutorials, you're starting with nothing, and it's your own, inspirations or limitations that, can carry you and, bring your desired image to life. And I love that. It's a bit too big. So the button that I'm pressing is the B button. So the B button, when you have a vertex selected, and I press B, it will highlight. The stream's a bit dodgy with where it is. It will highlight an object, and then if I hold B and I move my cursor, it will expand, and it will allow me to get a bigger a bigger surface, so you can see how much I'm pulling here. But if I'm to shrink it down, I'm only pulling a little bit, and then I just press B and it goes away. So that's okay. I want to shrink this in a little bit. So we'll bring that back, shrink it down a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger. because this is so important when you're working on cloth, because cloth is not rigid. You know, it's got its straight lines when it needs to have its straight lines, you know, on the edges and stuff like that. But the cloth itself, you know, it's flowy. It's never perfectly straight. So whenever I'm working on cloth myself, you know, you just gotta make it flow to the best of its ability. So what I enjoy most is you go from a flat surface to, we'll press that and try how this looks. It's all about trial and error. So we can bring it in a bit, and we'll bring the parts that we haven't done. And just by that, I'll pull the wireframe off. Oh gosh, that looks a bit dodgy there. But that'll be fixed up. But it just adds that little bit of ripple. It's not a lot. Oh goodness, what is going on? Oh, that's why. So the more edge loops that I do to it, the more pulling and pushing back will start adding more ripples to it and give it that fabric look. And then I'll grab some rope and I'll tie it around the center, and it'll give that bunched up curtain look. So I'll have the curtain coming down, bunched up with the rope, and then kind of flowing down. That's why I've got the curve in there for the moment. But we'll also start to shape the door around that as well. So save it again. So do this. There we go. So do you see the ripple that I'm talking about? So look, it's not perfect, but you're getting that baseline there. That, you know, you start with just a simple planer, you add a couple of, you know, higher levels, lower levels, just to begin that curve, and then the more edge loops, the more, you know, shaping that you do to it, the more realistic it, you know, comes out, and you can start seeing that it's got that wave pattern. And just, you know, when we get to the texturing slash shading part, you know, when you go into the crevice areas and you make it a lot more darker, and, you know, the top part's just that little bit more shinier, it's got that nice wave curve with the shadows to really deepen the gaps and spaces. It's all about practice, Rosie. I have made a lot of cloths and a lot of flags and this and that in different scenes. I've done castle scenes that needed, flags that waved in the wind and, banners that were hanging down that had a little bit of a flap. And it's all about trial and error. I was not getting this result when I first did it, um, but it's just a learning curve, and that's what I enjoy. I'm always going to be learning. 50 years from now, when I'm doing this, I'm always going to be learning, because you're always growing as an artist. So that's why I never, you never view other artists as, they're so much better than me. Yeah, they are. They do have better art, but they've also been learning for a lot longer, or they've been doing this or that. You got to always be appreciative of your own art. You know, it may not look like this or that day one, but in a week, 2 weeks, a month, it's going to look night and day from when you first. Let me get into camera. It's going to look night and day from when you first started. It's all about just practicing and, going at your own pace. Don't push it. Sorry. You never push yourself. If something's not working, you don't keep on going at it until you're getting frustrated. Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. This and that. You go at your own pace. You go what's most comfortable for you. Um, you're only able to do as much as you can do. So if you can only work the best of your ability for half an hour every day, that's all you can do. If you can only do cartoony looks instead of realistic environment, that's all you can do. Yeah, you can grow from that. You're always going to grow, and you're always going to learn. Um, Let me actually move to the classroom so we can actually make it look a bit more sensible. You're always going to grow as an artist, so you can't hold yourself back from what you're capable of doing now. So it's doing tests for yourself. You know, putting yourself out of your comfort zone if you really want to grow fast. Um, if you're a cartoony artist and you want to do more realistic artists, then set a piece for yourself. Okay, I want to do a boat, simple old boat, but I want it to look realistic. So it's one object, it's one thing which is just a boat, and you do that to your best of your ability. Then afterwards you critique it, you show other people, get their views, and then you set a new goal. Okay, I like that, but now I want to work on this because this part of my boat didn't look great and I need to grow at this. So the next scene that you work on, the next start piece, you focus on that more. Okay, I want the scene to have a ton of water in it because my water didn't look great, so let's do an ocean scene now. And you're kind of pushing yourself because that's the main focus of the scene. Your main focus is what you're struggling with. Now, yes, that could be like, okay, well, I'm done now, and it stands out as really bad. Well, it just means you need to work on it. You keep on pushing at it. If it's not working, then, take a break. You don't want to get frustrated at your art. You don't want to get sick of what you enjoy doing. You want to enjoy it, but also grow from it. So, hopefully that, made a little bit of sense. I'm glad that helped. Rosie? Because your number one fan is you're always yourself. If you're not supporting yourself, then it's going to sound really bad me saying this, but if you can't support yourself, why should other people? You got to always back yourself up. Because if other people are having a go at you or, not encouraging you with your art, well, you got to be your only supporter at those times. Back when I was at school, I'd be working on stuff and it's just like, that doesn't look great. But, I had to encourage myself because, if I'm not supporting my art, then, if anybody else does, then I'm not going to believe it. Oh, wow, your art's so great. Well, I don't think so. And then you're just beating yourself up, You're not encouraging yourself, and, it's not how it should be. So we'll duplicate this across, and then we'll raid Nomad, because I think we've made some good progress. We'll duplicate this across, and then we'll raid Nomad, because I think we've made some good progress. Okay, well, we'll save there for today, and then yeah, thank you everybody for coming by, and I appreciate that. Let's see, we've got a raid message there. Feel free to copy that so we can support Nomad when we raid him. Yes, we are raiding Luna. I'm just trying to figure out how we do so. Hopefully that's how we do it. If not, fine. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I am confused. How do you raid Luna? I need my mods help. How do you raid? Ah, there we go. My amazing mod knows how to do stuff. So feel free to use the raid message, and we're going to raid our wonderful other mod, Nomad. So I will end on this. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching my stream. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of their night, day, whatever it may be. I appreciate everybody for taking the time out of their schedule to watch me and encourage. And I hope all the best for everybody. And let's head over and enjoy Nomad.
Your friends over. You're doing great and we believe in you. Oh no, no you. I believe in you. Thank you for the raid. Let's shout out Clonesy because where the hell are my mods? I have no idea where they are. Clonesy just started streaming and he does modeling and he does gaming. Did my raid work? Your raid